Welcome to the second episode of this Success Sutras mini series. Today we'll be discussing about unleashing personal development. But hang on, if you have not yet watched the first video, I'd request you to please close this video, go back, watch the first video of the series, which was titled Developing Growth Mindset, and then come back to watch this video later. Why this is essential is because everything in life is based on the foundation of a strong mindset. So, last session was predominantly about discussing certain concepts that can act as a beautiful foundation stone for us so that we can launch ourselves in a grand way. This session is just to take it forward and see what all is it that we can incorporate in our daily life, not just as concept to be imbibed and applied, but also a few hacks and tips to see if they can be of some help in our journey of productivity and self mastery. So let's dive deep in. To continue what we had discussed in the previous session about not letting too much of societal garbage, too much of peer pressure, or too much of parental pressure inside of us, not letting people dictate terms to us as to what we should be doing. It is also important, and in fact, it's a very healthy coping skill both for mental and emotional health, that you set right kind of boundaries. You should be very clear from within as to how much you will allow a third person to invade in your privacy and in your life. You must set healthy boundaries so as to keep a clear check on how much a person can invade into your private life, how much a third person, can dictate terms to you. This setting of or establishing of healthy boundaries is a critical coping skill which is essential for maintaining sanity as well as inner calm. So, this is the first task for the day, establishing healthy boundaries in our lives and seeing how much of our inner space are we allowing people to invade, how much of our life is dictated by people around us and not born out of what we actually want or desire. Number two, for today, and not just today, in fact, for the rest of this month, at least, no matter which month you are watching this video in, at least for this month, prioritize self care activities. You see, self care activities are not just leisure or time pass activities. Self care activities are something that actually enhance our well being to a great extent. So, the point here is to prioritize self care activities so as to sustainably enhance our well being. And for this, let me share a very simple hack with you. Every 15 to 30 days, that is either every fortnight or every month, at least once for the entire length and breadth of 24 hours, go on a digital detox. Digital detox? What kind of a detox is that? Digital detox is nothing but a simple term where you switch off or disconnect from all your gadgets, social media especially. You disconnect from all social media, don't take any calls unless, of course, it's really hampering your survival. No messages, no nothing. Anything that gives you a dopamine hit, a clear no to those activities. This digital detox will help us not just recalibrate our life, but also realign to our mission and vision in life, whatever that be. So, today's task is to ensure that within the next 10 days, you decide the date of your digital detox, inform people well in advance, and not just inform and decide, also go on that digital detox. So, all this is fine, but what exactly is this digital detox going to do, Pradyumna? Why this disconnection with social media and mobile phone and internet? Why? What exactly is it going to do? See, it's going to help you in a big way. The benefits exactly are quite subjective. However, some studies done in the Western societies, particularly in the European universities, have shown that digital detox helps us reduce brain fog and fatigue. It helps us improve balance, coordination, and brain flexibility. It helps us enhance concentration and attention. And most importantly, as I just told you, it helps in emotional detoxification. Don't you think all these benefits are good enough reason for you to at least try this digital detox once? And as I said, it will be a great time for you to re energize and rejuvenate. It will be a fantastic opportunity to realign with the mission and vision of your life. And let me remind you the most critical element of yesterday's session: no excuses. Yes. So just see how you can incorporate digital detox in your life. Just experiment and see. If it works for you, we'll keep it. Otherwise, what's the harm? It will be a good day's rest to your mobile phones and laptops and Wi-Fi's and so on and so forth. Right? Now, the third thing for today, which is probably the most important thing, is to gather perspectives that serve you and help you grow in life. Now, what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is simply an extension of what we discussed yesterday about using our common sense. You see, there are no real problems in life. There, there are just situations, right? Now, if you look at a situation in terms of a problem, you let the situation overpower you, overwhelm you. However, if you just look at it the way it is, situations are situations. We will deal with to the best of our capability, whatever the circumstance provides, whatever the situations allow us to do, whatever the support system that we've got, whatever our capabilities, in accordance with all these things, we can see and decide what we need to do. But if we let this situation turn into a problem in our minds, it will be something that is likely to overpower us, something that is likely to overwhelm us. And if that happens, our powers get diminished to a great extent. Now, let me give you some examples. You'll often hear a lot of people say, "Oh, my work life balance is missing. Oh, my job sucks. I just hate my job. This is not the career I really wanted to be in." All right. The way it is the way it is. Now, for whatever reason, you are landed up and caught up in this particular job that you have. Do you think cribbing and complaining about how your boss is really nasty person, or how your colleagues are not cooperating, or how the working hours are too long, is it not all the more important to look at the other half, the other side? So let's say you are dedicating 12 hours in total, right, from commutation, transportation, and other activities to the actual office time daily. So this 12 hours is gone. It's essentially blocked. There's not much you can really do about it. However, if you shift your focus from this cribbing and complaining mindset to something which is more holistically and objectively neutral, you'll be able to see things from a very sane, equanimous, and objective viewpoint. And this is precisely a perspective shift that you need to bring about just for you to be able to feel more powerful in terms of control in life. Once you feel you are in control of life, a lot of things will become easy. Let me give you another example. So, a lot of people also complain, life sucks. Life is so difficult. Life is so tough. No, I don't know. And I don't want to know also. Because people who are not living well here, people who are drinking of every Friday night and Saturday night, enjoying life, thinking that only Friday night and Saturdays are the days when they really can live. Other days they are just sort of struggling to make both the ends meet. Other days they are just like a slave. For those people, I really have nothing but pity in my mind, nothing else. However, if you look at this particular situation or this statement very objectively and compare it with what our previous generations have faced, you will realize that literally life these days in this modern 21st century is nothing but a cakewalk. We don't have to worry about our survival. We can literally eat whatever, wherever, and however we want. There are democracies in large parts of world, so there is no dictatorship or things that used to happen in the past as we have read in histories anymore. The survival is so well managed that it literally will freak out a lot of people if they reappear from 100 years ago or 200 years ago or maybe just even a generation ago to see how modern man is still messing up despite so many conveniences in life. And by the way, what proof you are having that you are not already in heaven and making a mess out of it? This is for those who often complain that, okay, we'll suffer here as much as we want to because there's a better life somewhere else. No, there's no better life anywhere else. This is the only life you've got. And the most important thing is you fix yourself first. Everything else will fix. The important and critical element here is to ensure that this one is happening the way we want it to happen. The important and critical thing is to ensure that we fix this one. Then situations, however they happen, whatever happens, no matter what, we will be able to reply or adjust or respond to the best of our capability. And that's all that matters, right? If we don't really have the resources to respond amicably, we will not be able to. But at least we'll go back home tonight, sleep on our beds peacefully, thinking that we did the best we could. But all this is possible only and only if the right perspective is there. The mindset is not problem oriented, the mindset is towards solving situations, solving how this particular situation could be tackled in life. Mindset is not a compulsive problem picker, rather than it becomes a subconscious solution finder. And this will aid our adaptability to a great extent as well. And by the way, let me tell you very frankly, nothing in life is a suffering. Suffering is only something that happens in between the 2 years. It's only prevalent in our mind you. Yes, pain is a physiological bodily phenomena, but suffering is entirely our making. We are essentially suffering two very important faculties that we have developed over this long evolutionary history that we have had. We are essentially suffering our memory and imagination. Either we are stuck in the past, something that happened long time ago is still compulsively controlling us, or something that might happen in future is stressing us out, worrying us out. So why I told you to gather perspectives that actually serve us is for the simple reason that we should be mindfully aware of this present moment and live it out to the best of our capability. Yes, a lot of time situations might not be as per our liking. Situations might not just be unfavorable, situations might even be hostile. But if the right mindset is there in place, if we are able to maintain our sanity and equanimity, if we are able to maintain a high emotional quotient, the 3 points I talked about yesterday, remember? If we are able to do that, it is very easy for us to navigate through any situation in life. After all, every situation is an opportunity for us to grow and flower, nothing else. So, three things that we've discussed so far in this session. Number one, establishing healthy boundaries, which is a very important coping skill. Number two, I told you to decide a date for your digital detox, inform well in advance to all the people who matter around you, and then positively go on a digital detox within the next 10 days. No excuses. And lastly, we discussed about something that is an extension to what we discussed in the previous session about using common sense. Today, we went a step ahead and discussed about how we should gather and install perspective shifts in our mind that serve us. And the only perspectives that serve us are objective viewpoints, viewing things with equanimity, with objectivity, and from a third person's viewpoint, not entangled in the situation, but from a little distance. That's all. Now, to move further in this session, we'll discuss about why unleashing personal development is important. Because once you are engaged in personal development, it is automatic for you to develop a high emotional quotient. It is automatic for you to learn, imbibe, and practice for utilization of habits and techniques or learnings that will be fruitful in this particular life for whatever you are doing and whatever you are learning. You see, there are three A's to success: aspire, act, and achieve. Now, aspiration is something that we discussed in the previous session in great detail. You need to develop a desire firstly for you to be able to act and achieve. Number two is about acting. Now, action doesn't necessarily mean you do your job and start expecting the fruits to immediately turn up. Action is about doing whatever best you can do and forget about whatever happened. Time will unfold a lot of mysteries. So, achievement is not something that we can directly control in terms of when it will come, but achievement stage is something that we can directly control in terms of the input, in terms of the effort we put in. So, the first stage is to develop an aspiration within yourself of wanting to achieve something or wanting to make a mark. The second step, the second stage is about doing and taking the right actions, the right things, which will take us close to where we want to reach. And then is simply about waiting for the achievement to happen. If it happens, well and good. Otherwise, take the feedback and move ahead. Remember, all growth is subjective. The time taken by the seemingly same amount of growth between two individuals might vary. You need to really understand this concept, the growth paradox. So, the growth paradox, what it is essentially that growth is not a linear curve. Growth is not directly proportional to the effort only. Growth is a composite of a whole lot of factors. Let's keep it for discussion for some other day. But what the point that I am essentially trying to drive home today is that growth doesn't happen at the snap of the fingers. Growth is not overnight, it takes time. You need to understand that even the tallest of trees were not grown overnight, they took their own time. Growth isn't a sprint, it's a marathon filled with surprises. The journey might feel slow, but when that achievement happens, when the breakthroughs happen, it will feel like fireworks in the night sky. And that's all we all work towards. That's something that we all aspire for. You must have seen recently the T20 World Cup win by Team India was not an overnight phenomena. And it wasn't also just about this particular T20 World Cup, which happened from 1st to 29th of June. It was a discipline and hard work of this entire cricket team, its players, its support staff, the administration, the backend team, and so many other people involved over the past so many years. We all also know about MS Dhoni, who went on from becoming a ticket collector with the railways to now a household name, probably and arguably the most popular Indian cricketer of modern era. So patience is the secret sauce here. You can only do that much. After that, it's all a patience game. Yes, we need to be able to do our best. But after that, as I said, patience is the secret sauce. You sprinkle it graciously and let the miracles unfold. So, before we wind up today's session, let me share an experimental tool with you. Something that you can try and see if it suits your style of working. Something that you can make use of for the next couple of days to see if this is something that will help you boost your own productivity. The tool is called Brain.fm. It's an app, it's a music app designed to sustain your creativity and attention with brain stimulating tunes. So, what actually happens is, in an activity which requires you to be in a state of flow or something that demands extraordinary concentration and focus, you can simply plug in your earphones and choose to play whichever tune suits you or you feel like comfortable with. See if this app helps you bolster your productivity and performance over the next couple of days. If it does, great, we'll keep it. Otherwise, what's the harm? You would have just listened to some nice music. Okay, all this is fine, Pradyumna, but there are so many avenues and options available when it comes to personal development. Where do I begin? Do I read books? Do I do online courses? Should I join some commune or tribe? Do I go for online or offline event? I'm just too confused. These sorts of confusions will happen. Trust me, the only way out of this confusion is to take the plunge. No matter what, no matter where, at least begin. And to help you out with this, hang on, what you can do is every Wednesday on LinkedIn platform, I post a book summary. So you can just follow me on LinkedIn and read these book summaries every Wednesday so that it's not a major burden on you of reading 200, 300, 400 pages of a book, but at the same time also extracting the most important nuggets of wisdom and insights from that particular book. So this is something that I do every Wednesday on the LinkedIn platform. A book summary is posted. However, if you are not the reading type, if you are someone who likes to practice things, who likes to put things into practical application, do watch this success crash course video series, the links of which is given in the description below, and you will find amazing insights for personal development in all walks of life: mind, body, relationships, career, you name it, and you'll have it. So, please, as the supplementary material for this particular session, I'm sharing the Success Crash Course playlist with you. It's a 5-part video series. Won't take more than 45-50 minutes of your time, but trust me, the insights and actionable strategies that it will provide you with can completely transform your lives. Just those simple activities and small hacks. The important thing is to keep going on. No excuses. So if you like the video, please do share this with as many friends as possible. Subscribe to the channel if you still haven't, and don't forget to comment on this video about the most important takeaway from today's session. This is Dr. Pradyumna Singh signing off for today. See you in the next session.